We've now been joined by our race winner, driver of the number 54 Monster Energy Toyota, Kyle Busch. This is Kyle's 7th victory in 2013 and his 4th victory here at New Hampshire. We're also joined by the race-winning crew chief, Adam Stevens. We'll take an opening comment from both of you, but let's start with Kyle. Kyle, just talk a little bit about the race, another dominating performance by you, and a little action there at the end with the restarts. Talk a little bit about what was going through your mind there. Yeah, certainly. We didn't want to have the. Should we turn that down so I don't ring? Okay, maybe not. We just didn't want to have those late restarts. We felt like you just have enough fuel to make it to the end, and then everything keeps happening there where guys keep spinning and wrecking or whatever to cause the cautions. But all in all, we had a great race car today. I mean, we didn't unload the best, but Adam and the guys really worked hard, made some smart changes, and got a lot of speed out of the car since we unloaded here. So pretty excited about that and being able to make some changes like that, and then get into the race today and put it all to good use by qualifying on the pole and everything. So, besides the hiccup on pit road where, the fenders were a little too tight, we passed a couple guys, got back up to the lead, and kind of showed our strength there a little bit. And then, the last couple restarts there, just trying to do the best you could to get good restarts. And, of course, knowing that this is a flat mile racetrack where everybody's on top of everybody, trying to get every inch they can in the last 2 laps of the race. There's going to be more. I think, anytime you see the cautions come out late in the going, you always pretty much know it's going to be multiple green, white checkers here. So just glad that we were able to fight through it and come back to the checkered first. All right, and Adam, talk a little bit about what was going through your mind in those closing laps.
Well, once you get in that situation at the end, there's nothing you can do except ride it out. Nobody knows if you're going to have one or multiple green, white checkers and how many laps you're going to go. So, I knew we had a buffer of fuel. I didn't know exactly how much it was. And when you get down to the small numbers there, the calculations get a little fuzzy. If he's able to save a little bit under green, or you don't know how much exactly he saves under yellow, you just don't know. So you just got to go for it and hope for the best. But we had enough for a burnout, and he drove it in. So he must have done a good job saving when he didn't have to push it too hard. But that whole deal was set up by the green flag stop, to be honest with you, where guys started short pitting, trying to make time on us. And he was able to run some good lap times when it came down to it there. Got through traffic pretty well. So we kept him out there as long as we felt safe to set it up for that situation at the end. So that's probably what sealed the deal for us, I think.
We'll now take questions for Kyle and Adam. Please state your name and affiliation. We'll start with Reed.
Reed Spencer with the NASCAR Wire Service. That was sort of my question. Kyle, Brian said he ran out of gas coming to the checkered flag. How did you have enough left to do a burnout like that at the end of the race? Did you start saving as soon as you started that run?
How many laps did we pit after Brian?
2, it was about 2 laps after Brian, yeah.
We pitted 2 laps after Brian, so I think that was part of it. I think the other part of it, too, was Brian and the 3 were running really, really hard, trying to beat each other, obviously, and race really hard there, where when I got out front, when the 2-second lead or whatever like that, I started rolling out of the gas early, getting in the corners, not using a whole lot of brake, and just kind of saving my tires, saving my brakes, saving the fuel, and doing what I could to just be ready, like Adam kept saying on the radio, in case there is a green, white checker, to have something left to go race at the end. So I think that all just compounded. I bet you there's still probably a couple gallons left.
All right, let's go to Mark.
Kyle, looking at some of the stats, I set some stuff up during the race to look at how many laps led. And okay, at this point, you led 1,000 laps for the season. At this point, you led 12,000 now on the Nationwide Series. Does that number impress you, number one? And number two, what is it about your style or what drives you that some guys don't want to lead those laps? They just don't want to be out front. What drives you to that? And again, are you impressed by 12,000 laps led on the Nationwide Series?
Certainly impressive, and doing it in 155 starts. Is that right? That's not right.
I don't know.
Where's Amy? She's not here. Anyways, how many starts do I have? 255, is that
258.
Right? 258? To do it in that many starts, I think it just shows a testament to being up front and leading laps. Here at Loudon, you want to get out front. You want to lead those laps, So, which most racetracks you do, but especially the ones that are hard enough to pass on, you'd rather be out front with guys chasing you. Yeah, it's impressive. I think there's a lot of numbers of myself in a nationwide series that are impressive. It's really cool to keep notching those and keep doing that. You know, it'd certainly be nice, I say it all the time, to having those numbers in the Cup Series, you know, but just for whatever reason, it hasn't quite worked out that way yet, you know, just for some reason, Jimmy Johnson's doing it. You know, he's the guy over there that does all those numbers, and I can do it here, but, you know, maybe one day we should swap rides. I don't know.
Again, going back to how much do you enjoy just leading laps? I mean, it seems like, you know, you're a guy that says if the race is 200 laps, I have no problem leading all 200, or that's my goal when I start. And a lot of guys, they're still running hard for the win and all that, but they're trying to lay back and they're content to ride, you know, fourth or fifth and wait for their moment. And you just, you know, you're always out there trying to blast into the lead.
Yeah, there's been a lot of times where I've run some races where I've led, you know, almost all laps. I think ORP, I got the record for leading all but 2 laps because somebody stayed out under yellow when we pitted. And Phoenix, I led all 200 laps one time. You know, a few other times I've led an awful lot of them. But, you know, it's just, like I said, it's just about being out front and setting your own pace. And essentially, for me, it's kind of like minding your own business. You know, I like everybody just away from me and, you know, to be doing my own thing. So when late restarts come about, it's like, gosh, you know, now you're putting your situation in the hands of other people. And that's when, you know, sometimes you get wrecked or don't finish where you hope to.
All right, Mary Jo.
Mary Jo Buchanan, Speedway Media. Kyle, can you comment on the fact that you've now tied Sam Ard's record for finishing the race from the pole, winning from the pole?
Oh, okay. Wow, that's every time we get in victory lane, there's some sort of record I tie or break. But you know, that's cool. Sam was obviously a huge part of the sport and what he was able to accomplish in the Grand National Division and the Nationwide Series, and so. There's been a lot of records that I've been able to tie or break of his, and it's been fun to do. You know, but you still pay heritage to those guys that have made this sport. I mean, it's guys like Sam. It's guys you know, that have been here for a while that have done a lot of great things for the sport, and we appreciate the history of it. But you know, I guess, I mean, even down the road, you know, maybe somebody's going to break my records. You know, records are always made to be broken, so we'll see which ones somebody else can do better than me.
And to that point, this is Busch's 4th win from the Coors Light pole this season, tying Sam Ard's record for wins from the pole in a season which was set in 1983.
I wasn't even born yet. Nope.
I didn't think so. All right, let's go to Matt.
Kyle, Matt Warnez, WWLP.com. I have 2 questions for you. What does it say about you and Joe Gibbs Racing being dominant up here and winning 4 out of the last 5? And how much does it help you with running the truck and the nationwide prepare for Sunday?
I think it's pretty cool to be able to win 4 or 5 here. You know, I felt like I had a good car last year. Just, you know, we had fuel issues that relegated us to the garage area to have to fix. So that kind of stunk. You know, we weren't able to race the whole race. But I tell you what, these guys do such a great job. Whether it's Adam Stevens or Jason Radcliffe or Dave Rogers in the Nationwide Series. Even now, you've got, you know, Chris Gale and Kevin Kidd over there doing a great job, or Matt Lucas. And so there's a lot of talented people at Joe Gibbs Racing, and that's what makes my job look a little bit easier. But these guys here work an awful lot and an awful lot of hours. What was your second part?
How does it help you?
How's it help? You know, for me, I say it all the time. You know, I just feel like track time is an added bonus. There's a couple things that I learned out there today that I feel like can help me for tomorrow. You know, I've been having some of the same issues in my Nationwide car that I've been having in my Cup car. And I did some different driving techniques and some different things behind the wheel to try to help compensate and make the balance of the race car better. And, you know, I'm going to try to use those tomorrow and see if I can't use that to my advantage.
All right, let's go to Reed, and then we'll come.
Reed Spencer with NASCAR Wire Service. Kyle, I think you said in Victory Lane that coming back through the field once you had the pit stop snafu was a little bit more difficult than you thought it might be. What does that say for tomorrow? And that said, I doubt if you'd want to trade positions with Jimmy tomorrow.
Yeah, it's certainly, man, you definitely don't want to start in the back. You definitely don't want to have to pass too many cars here. It's tough, but you really got to take care of your equipment while you're doing it. You know, you got to be mindful of your tires, your brakes, and everything. So, and your body, your fenders, everything. You know, I thought I got through the first couple guys okay, and everything was going all right. And then I got to second, and I got to Vickers, and I ran him down. And even though I was faster than him, I just didn't have enough to pin him on a lap car or to get up enough alongside of him or anything like that. So it took me a little bit. And then I overshot the corner one time. I got brain fade for one corner and almost killed us. But, I went way high and just got back going, saved everything, and then ran him back down again. And, I was like, all right, we're definitely faster. It might come down to pit road and being able to pass there. But just difficult to pass when, two cars are running, really close to the same speed.
Steve Richards, the PRN. The Cup car tomorrow, can it win? Is it as good? And who's your toughest competition going to be tomorrow that you can see?
Yeah, tomorrow's a totally different story, but I think our race car is pretty good. Interstate Batteries, Camry's good. I think it's a top 5 car right now. I think there's a couple other cars that are right there with us. I think the 15's good. I think the 20's good. 48, of course. That was about all I saw. I really didn't look much further than that. I wasn't really paying much attention. Maybe the 5. 5's probably about a 6th place car. I think Denny wasn't very happy. I bet you they'll make some good changes, though. They seem to be heading our way. So that was pretty positive at the end of the day.
Are you the best Gibbs guy?
We were on the lap tracker, but I think Kenseth is pretty good. I think Kenseth is. If we were the best today, in practice with our nationwide car, with all the Gibbs cars, Kenseth was, I think, in the Cup stuff.
Go ahead, Lee.
First of all, what's with the beard?
I don't know. I don't have a razor deal anymore, so I don't have to shave. So until the wife tells me I need to get rid of it, we'll keep going.
Okay.
Or until I have a change of heart, I guess. I don't know.
I've never seen this of you, but I've seen it of other drivers. The tendency that when pressure hits, that you tend to make mistakes and overdrive the car. Starting to see it a little bit with Denny. There's that air of desperation. Saw with your brother a little bit last year when the car wasn't of the caliber he was used to driving in. Is there a way, and Adam, you can touch this too, from being up and watching a driver, you probably have a good view of that. Is there a way as a driver that you can check yourself and throttle it back a little bit to not make those mistakes that you would make because things just aren't going the way that you're accustomed to them going?
Yeah, I mean, the only thing about slowing down and giving up a little bit is speed. I mean, it's just pure speed. You try to drive it as hard as you can, and if you're driving to everything the car's worth and everything you're worth, you're heating up tires, you're building air pressure, you're going to be slowing down. There are times where sometimes slower is faster, but it's very hard to tell a race car driver slower is faster for sure. You're chasing that guy in front of you, or if you're leading the race and there's a guy behind you, you're chasing that lap time, you're chasing that number to try to go faster. So. There's a lot of guys that overdrive their equipment, and I'm guilty of it just as much as any of them. Being able to come through the field or overdrive at the end of some of these races and put yourself in a bad situation and get yourself crashed or what have you. So it's just like I said, it's just a matter of trying to do everything you can to win the race.
Are there still, in this day and age, can you still take a 20th place car and make it a 5th place car like Earnhardt used to be able to do?
At a plate race, maybe. I think you could do it at a plate race. Those days are very, very tough. I would say if you could pick up 5 spots, you're having a good day. It's pretty hard to do that. I mean, if you're a 7th place car and you finish 2nd, it's kind of like, okay, it wasn't bad. You still want to win, of course, but you got to think about how your day could have been.
Okay, let's go back to Matt.
We saw yesterday the top 3 cars, I believe, in qualifying broke the track record. And with this new car, the Gen 6, I mean, it's broken a lot of track records this year at most tracks. Did you think coming in here yesterday that you would break the track record with this kind of car?
Yeah, you do. Depending on the weather. I mean, the weather in, where were we? Somewhere. We didn't break the track record, and we were all surprised. Sonoma. Track record didn't fall at Sonoma, and so, everybody was kind of surprised by that, but it was really hot out. I mean, the year before we qualified, it was about 70 degrees outside, cloudy, overcast. It was really nice, and then this year when we qualified, it was sunny and 85, so it was entirely different track conditions. So, yesterday, if you would have had the sun just beaming on the racetrack, you probably wouldn't went as fast, but there were some clouds that came through and a little bit of cooler temperatures, so it allowed for faster speeds. So most of these racetracks we're going to, I mean, you have a lighter race car and you have a car that has more downforce. And so there's no reason why it wouldn't be faster unless Goodyear changes the tire.
Any additional questions for Kyle or Adam? All right, congratulations, guys.
All righty.
Thank you.
Very much.